to upend and perhaps shock the state of Colorado by defeating LP on this floor, again at the Colorado School of Mines. The Lewis Palmer Rangers against the Pueblo Central Wildcats. Lewis Palmer this year, quite a great resume. 24-1 under Coach Russ McKinstry in his fourth year at Lewis Palmer High School. Of course, Coach McKinstry has been around for quite a while, coaching hoops here in the state of Colorado. Had a stint as a head coach at Smoky Hill and even was involved back in the day as an assistant at LP back when the legendary Pat Garrity was involved. Of course, moved on to play at Notre Dame and NBA ball. Lewis Palmer 24-1 this season, 9-1 within the conference at the Colorado Springs Metro League, the 4A division champions. Interestingly, that record 24-1, their only loss this season to the Broomfield Eagles. A couple of different points. Broomfield will play in the finale tonight at the Grade 8. And that loss came at the first game of the season back on December 2nd. Since then, the Rangers on a 24-game win streak. You can see the starters out on the floor. Jordan Scott out there for Lewis Palmer. Ethan Hollenbach. Kind of a miscue on the tip attempt. Josh Scott in the middle there, making the jump. Tim Hellwig, also a starter for the Rangers. Again, kind of a tough start on the tip. And again, the whistle. Tyler Owens, the fifth starter for LP. And let's go ahead and reset and just inbounce the basketball from the side. Why not? Looking at the starters for the Pueblo Central Wildcats, Daniel Martinez just inbounds the ball. Darian Hatchett, a senior, also one of the starters. Kevin Trujillo, also one of the starters, along with a sophomore, Zach Andrews. And B.J. Johnson, another one of the seniors. That is Daniel Martinez giving it up now up top. Kevin Trujillo kind of working around. Trujillo tries to get inside the lane. Try a wrap-around little quick pass, bounce pass over to B.J. Johnson underneath. No go. Kick ball. Justin Smith knocking it out of bounds. So a herky-jerky start, not exactly, big rush of excitement you might expect. The fans are certainly on fire, bringing the noise right now. A very nice community riding up all the way from Pueblo, representing the Wildcats from Central High in blue, and they get to see a nice feed to the interior. B.J. Johnson gets alone, but misses the layup, and now coming up is the LP Rangers. Lewis Palmer running the point. Tyler Owens. Of course, you know where they're going to get to the inside eventually. It's going to be getting to Josh Scott. Whistle blown. Foul call away from the basketball. Pueblo Central finishing the regular season and moving on to this point. They're 18-7 with an overall record. As you see, brother Jordan Scott, the junior, missed the first attempt there. 18-7 overall, 10-2 in the South Central League. The guys in blue and white, a 2 seed, trying to beat the top-ranked squad in Class 4A. So a 1-0 lead for the Lewis Palmer Rangers as we now start to get a flow set up. Wildcats in all blue with the white trim. LP Rangers wearing the white uniforms with the orange trim. Not really like if they were going to take a night run in Golden somewhere, we'd all be able to see them. They're very visible with the bright neon orange socks. That style, I like it. A little something different. Feed inside, and then the post move down low. There is Josh Scott with a 2 on the board. Josh Scott, of course, headed to CU. He's going to play for Coach Tad Boyle. Part of a 3-player contingent of local product that's coming in to CU. As you see, another nice strong move on the inside. B.J. Johnson left alone. He gets a 2. First points on the board for Pueblo Central, but Josh Scott working down low against Zach Andrew will join Xavier Talton from Sterling High School and Wesley Gordon from Sierra to be a nice little freshman influx for what Coach Ted Boyle is putting together up there at CU. I mean, things are already clicking pretty well up there playing Pac-12 ball for CU. Tough time getting road victories are the Buffaloes, but certainly you see all sorts of promise. When you get these three guys and you get a coach who's, just a couple of seasons into the program, cashing in and picking three of the top players in the state, that's a good sign. Outside shot, that's a three, is good. Daniel Martinez with the three. And a 5-3 lead for the Wildcats. Backside oop attempt from someone you might not expect, Tim Hellwig, the senior. Pass too strong and over the top. That'll be a turnover. Central bringing it up. Darian Hatchett, who if you were a Pueblo fan, might recall him. Outstanding running back for the Wildcats football team. Not very big, but oh so fast and certainly very quick. With him with the basketball, definitely going to have your lateral movement sharp tonight. Whoever's going to handle Darian Hatchett. Well, there's a turnover for Pueblo Central, so we kind of continue this tough start in terms of a rhythm or a pace. 3 minutes into the first quarter. 2-point lead for Pueblo Central as Jordan Scott takes it up top and eventually gives it up for a three-point attempt from the outside. No good. Josh Scott gets the rebound. See him use his size advantage and great technique. Boy, big man camp, Bill Walton be real proud. Never did bring the basketball down, and the result, he gets himself a bucket. Josh Scott with the second field goal of the game. And down low, the Wildcats still getting some things done down low. As we see Tim Hellwig dive into the Pueblo Central bench. And Coach McKinstry, I think a lot of us feel the same way. Well, that's kind of not exactly how we like to start an athletic event. Just be general about it. Let's go ahead and take a timeout, and we'll reset, get up back on the basketball floor, and maybe we can get some rhythm to this thing. You are watching the Grade 8 on CHSAA TV, brought to you in part by the Bank of Colorado. You can enjoy the difference of a family-run bank deeply rooted in Colorado that can make a difference in your life and community. They still believe in personal banking relationships. They are Bank of Colorado, distinctively different and distinctively Colorado, the way banking should be. Marty Cesario, Grade 8, CHSAA TV in Golden, Colorado School of Mines. Third game. Already got 2 through. Valor Christian has moved on. They're in the Final Four. Sierra, the Stallions, just beat Davlin by 2 in Game 2. So 2 entries are in. We're looking for 2 more. Certainly both these squads want a shot. Outside attempt there. Three-pointer, no good. Josh Scott with the rebound. Lewis Palmer will reset up top. Trying the feed to the inside. Josh Scott, certainly some size advantage. Some tough defense applied so far by Zach Andrews. As Jordan Scott tries to get to the interior, he's fouled. And he'll get a pair at the line. Rangers down 2 with Jordan Scott, an opportunity to tie the ball game up through the noise of that very loud group from Pueblo Central. Jordan, second attempt. Misses. Zach Andrews rebound, and here comes Darian Hatchett. Hatchett moves it over. Trujillo eventually to B.J. Johnson. It'll be an outside attempt. That's a 3. Rebound Jordan Scott, and here come the Rangers. Jordan's going to push it against numbers. Gets it to his brother, who's kind of out of control, but eventually recollects himself. Jumps up in the air and gets himself another field goal. That's the third of the game early in the first quarter for Josh Scott. He's got 6. 1-point lead LP. As they're showing a little lack of care with the basketball, and you see eventually Justin Smith, the junior, get his hands on it, dive to the floor, jump ball situation, but the arrow favors LP. There's a look at Coach Rutch McKinstry. LP last season, 22-5. They lost to eventual state champion Sterling in the Final Four in a grinding 49-48 loss. That was a big-time historic event, that game, the loss to Sterling. McKinstry took these Rangers to the Final Four the previous 2 years, so LP is looking for their 4th consecutive Final Four appearance as the release from the outside from Justin Smith ends up with that. Nice job, camera work there. Jeremy Weathers getting a good shot at that. And you know how that is when you're playing rec ball at the gym. You got to find the tallest guy to go ahead and reach up there. I tell you what, it ain't going to be me. Referee, again resourceful. Give me another ball, I'll pop it out. And let's get rid of that one. And that continues with this start. You just can't pick up much of a pace. Josh Scott coming all the way out to Hatchet. Gets away from him down low trying to find B.J. Johnson, who has actually been able to get some work done. He's missed a couple of open attempts down there and then has put one in for his lone field goal so far, B.J. Johnson. But that is going to be a turnover. So LP will bring it up. Scott working off the spin, backside help. Johnson in his way off the spin. That'll be a foul. Scott seems to want his shot attempts. Officials going to give it to him. I thought perhaps fraction committed on the spin. Josh Scott hits the first. 2-point lead for Lewis Palmer. And the second. Kind of a hurried pace in delivering those free throws for Josh Scott. But he's true with both, and a 10-7 lead for the Rangers as Hatchet drives for Central, picking up the loose ball. Zach Andrews gets a chance to get on the board, which is rewarding for him because for most of the time, you can see at this time, Zach Andrews has been shadowing Josh Scott, having to bang away with him down low. Jordan Scott tries to get to the interior. Good defense by Kevin Trujillo. Reset up top, back to the inlet pass. Josh Scott, he'll elevate from the baseline, just a short 8-footer, no good. Andrews with a strong rebound. Here comes Hatchet for Pueblo Central. Down the floor, he finds Trujillo. Spin move along the baseline. Will he get the wraparound to fall through? No. Rebound for Ethan Riker. And LP will come back up top. Between his legs a couple of times. Tyler Owens, the junior. Coach McKinstry's offense settling a little bit into the half-court set. Josh Scott looking for his open spot. He'll do the kick out, electing to drive along the baseline. Tyler Owens that eventually ends up with a 3-point attempt, hands in the air for the official. Yes, that is a 3 for Jordan Scott, who has 5 in the game, and a 4-point lead for LP, who's on an 8-0 run right now. Andrews to the outside. Loose pass, it's a turnover. Jordan Scott working the break. Well handled, except for a missed shot. Scott stays down there. Jordan, the junior, finishes things up. A 10-0 lead, or a 10-0 run for the Lewis Palmer Rangers. They're up 15-9 right now. And eventually Kevin Trujillo gets down low and he gets hacked, so he'll get a pair of free throws. Trujillo, a senior for the Central Wildcats. His first point of the game. So the Wildcats in blue, in double digits. 5-point deficit. Trujillo, front of the rim, hits the back of the glass and in. He gets both. 15-11. Now a 2-3 zone applied by Pueblo Central under Coach Brad Ranson. LP very patient as we approach the end of the first period. All indications would be visually, right? LP is going to go for one shot to finish off the quarter. As you see Tyler Owens working on his dribbling skills. Back over to Owens. He's going to take a deep attempt, or was it a pass? either way, the reward will be there. A couple of shots at the free throw line for Josh Scott. Now, if you're a dad, you'll remember that had shades of Derek Wittenberg. From up top, NC State over Houston. Or was that Sidney Lowe? With Lorenzo Charles collecting, it was a pass? I don't know. And then, of course, the famous Jim Valvano scene, looking for a hug. So Josh Scott hits one. Down the floor. Central can't get a decent shot off, and that will end the first period of play. And that's about how that first quarter went. Started off where 2 miscues on even getting the opening tip going. Eventually just an inbounds play to start the game off. A lot of fouls and just couldn't get any real up-tempo pace established, and that's where we're at. The LP Rangers. Lewis Palmer up by 5. You're watching the grade 8 on CHSAA.
Be an actor, writer, or scientist. With small class sizes and caring faculty, your great story begins here. Adams State College offers state-of-the-art classrooms and an adventure program that rocks your world. Our affordable tuition and close campus community enriches the lives of a diversity of students.
Helping you, inspiring you to be your very best. Adams State College. Great stories begin here.
5-point lead for the Lewis Palmer Rangers, the top-ranked team in the state of Colorado, Class 4A. We're at the grade 8 on CHSAA TV in Golden, Colorado, the Colorado School of Mines campus. Right here in the gym, you can see the Ore Digger Donkey right there in the middle of the floor. Again, 5-point lead. And LP has possession. Tim Hellwig inbounds the ball, and now Tyler Owens, the junior, has been playing primarily the point up top as LP moves the ball around. Eventually gets over to Jordan Scott. Josh Scott active in the paint. Just trying to knife through there to get an open spot. There's Josh Scott. He'll go outside to Jordan. Rotating around very well, the Lewis Palmer offense. Ball goes up in the air, doing a great job, as you can see. Tim Hellwig elevate. The ball goes through. They're going to call it off because of great defense on the part of B.J. Johnson, who draws the charge. So that'll be a turnover. And the second team foul against Lewis Palmer. Central working around. That's Hatchett. Over to Daniel Martinez. Eventually over to Trujillo. Spin move, very nicely done. Off balance a little bit. Nice soft touch. Falls through. Trujillo with his 4th point of the game. Pueblo Central within 3. And the Rangers working it around. 3-point shot attempt. That's Jordan Scott. Up top, that's his second 3 of the game. Jordan now has 10 points early on in the second quarter for Lewis Palmer. 6-point lead for the Rangers. Man defense for Coach McKinstry and LP. The Rangers from Lewis Palmer in white with the orange trim and the steel. Jordan Scott, here he comes working with brother. Gets it over to Josh. Eventually, after perhaps a little bit of contact, Josh collects himself and gets the ball in. So a break with the Scott brothers ends up with another 2 and a Josh Scott bucket on the run. And now a 21-13 lead, 8-point spread in favor of Lewis Palmer as B.J. Johnson works it around from up top, eventually over to Daniel Martinez. 2-man trap rotating through. Josh Scott drops back into the paint to cover his zone. Kind of a loose man defense for LP. Central going to be very patient. 3-point shot from the outside, and that's why he releases. Daniel Martinez, well, he's proven he's a threat. That's his second 3 in a quarter and a half of play so far for Daniel Martinez, the senior for Pueblo Central. Down low, getting to the interior, Tim Hellwig, the 6'4 senior. He gets a slap, a whistle, and 2 at the line. You might have heard the PA announcer as Hellwig tries to shoot through the noise of the Loud Pueblo Central crew in the stands. Hellwig hits the first two. But you may have heard the PA announcer. That's the 6th team foul against Pueblo Central. LP approaching opportunities for 1-and-1 situations, even in non-shooting situations. Hellwig, little love from the rim, hits both. So Tim gets 2 on the board for himself and a 7-point lead for LP as the Wildcats set up there. B.J. Johnson up top. Okay, the defense is getting a little bit tighter on ball. Rangers bringing it up, but eventually getting through there was Daniel Martinez, but no good. A little too much traffic in there, not enough strength off the jump. Jordan Scott's going to take that shot from the outside. No good, fighting for it. B.J. Johnson, nice job, and here comes Darian Hatchett. Is he going to press the issue? Zach Andrews with a short shot from the baseline. Little thin, not enough. LP coming up here with the basketball. That's Jordan Scott, far side with it. Back over to Tyler Owens from up top. Josh Scott is not on the floor, taking a rest. He will be checking in momentarily. Till now, Brother Jordan's out there. Going through the lane seems to be something that Tim Hellwig wants to do and take advantage of. There's a nice bucket for him, the floater, and it's true. Back up to a 9-point lead for LP as Hatchett kicks over to Martinez, trying to work post position. Nice inside pass from Martinez to the interior. B.J. Johnson gets himself his second field goal of the game. Good work on the part of the Pueblo Central Wildcats. Take advantage of the opportunity when Josh Scott is sitting. Ethan Riker, the sophomore on the floor, gets 2, down low, and lead back up to 9. Largest lead of the game for either squad, and certainly LP, who has held the lead the entire contest. And check that. Pueblo Central had leads at 7-5 and 9-6. And then a 9-0 run on the part of Lewis Palmer in the first quarter. Put LP up 15-9. And now we're again with a 9-point spread with LP at the advantage. Josh Scott, you'll see come top of your screen. He'll check in, sitting down. Ethan Riker, nice job, working hard down low. Gets himself a field goal. He'll take a sit. Perfect play set up. Josh Scott steps on the floor. Everybody follows him through the lane, and then you see someone backside, specifically Justin Smith, with a little oop and layup and an 11-point lead for LP. Zach Andrews trying to establish position. Pass inside, stolen. I believe that was Justin Smith with the pick. LP has possession of the basketball once again. Outside shot from 3, no good. Josh Scott with the rebound, put back with the left. Easy does it, and in. And now largest lead of the game, and we're going to have a timeout for Pueblo Central. Coach Ranson wants to stop down and rethink and make some adjustments. So the largest lead of the game for Lewis Palmer at 31-18. They're up 13 right now. Lewis Palmer, 22-5 last season in a Final Four appearance. Lost to eventual state champion Sterling. This year, 24-1. I was mentioning earlier in this broadcast, that loss was the first game of the season, an overtime loss at Broomfield High School on December 2nd. Since then, 24 consecutive victories. And they are the top seed and the top-ranked team in the state of Colorado. Certainly top seed in the brackets here at Class 4A, and that's where we're at, the Grade 8 Class 4A at the School of Mines. Errant pass attempt to the outside, and that's a turnover. So Lewis Palmer will have the basketball once again with that 11-point spread with under 3 to play. Way up top, Jordan Scott into Josh and back to the outside. Lewis Palmer's doing an excellent job with ball rotation and also disciplined patience. They certainly have D1 talent out on the floor, specifically those Scott brothers. But Coach McKinstry has these guys very disciplined. They're not going to rush anything. And they have no problem winning in the 50s. Right now, we'll see if we get there. Jump shot attempt, no good. Justin Smith, rebound. Eventually gets over to Dorian Hatchett. Hatchett sets up, uses his vision, probes around. Barks out where he wants his teammates to be. The offense set, taking a while. Andrews comes up, not high screen. He receives the basketball. There's Trujillo up top with Jordan Scott in his face. Trujillo, couple of shimmy fakes, nothing happening. Eventually back up top to Hatchett. And on the ball fake, Martinez whistled for the traveling violation. And another technical turnover for Pueblo Central. Wildcats down 11, and kids in blue in the stands getting a little bit quiet, because we're getting the hint of what perhaps you might have expected. We still got a while to go. But it's getting quiet in here. That's the reality. I'll bark it out to you. Here comes Hatchett. Over to Andrews with Josh Scott in his face. Trujillo rolls very perfectly. Nice pass. The feet underneath, beautiful, but Cullen Gomez can't get it to go through and fall down. And once again, Tyler Owens, the junior. Back up, taking his time. Few hand signals. Working through his progression of dribbling skills practice. Time to go. You hear the grunts and groans of certainly the folks from Pueblo Central High School. They don't like it, but LP's got the lead by 11. They've got the basketball in their hands, and they'll wait it out. There will be a final shot from LP. Now they get moving. Under 6 to play, eventually the outside shot, and if you can do that, you can puff your chest out. Hold the ball for a minute and a half and eventually end up with a three-point attempt, which is good, from Justin Smith, and go up 15 through 2 quarters of play. Work to perfection by Coach Russ McKinstry's LP Rangers. So, through 2 quarters and 1 half of play, Josh Scott dominating down low, especially on offensive rebound putbacks. That's where he's been collecting his points. And then a 3-point shot after a minute and a half possession. Justin Smith hits the shot from behind the big arc. And LP is up 34-18 here at the Grade 8 on CHSAA TV.
I'm ready to switch over to Farm Bureau Auto Insurance.
Great.
Wait, my old insurance agent is offering me a safe driver discount if I stay.
We got you down for that.
And a multi-line discount.
That too. You know, some insurance companies don't give you your discounts until you try to switch, whereas we give you all the discounts you qualify for automatically.
Awesome. Done.
Hey, hi.
Your old agent?
Yeah.
Awkward.
Real service, real people. That's Farm Bureau Insurance.
He wasn't looking for a roommate, not even a 4-legged one. But good things have a way of turning up. Wasn't long till they realized how much they relied on each other. There's power in a great relationship. That's why we take time to get to know each of our customers personally. Like Henry and Chance. Those relationships are the strength of our community bank. And that's the way banking should be.
Thanks for meeting me here. No problem.
You know, Farm Bureau Insurance has local agents making this kind of thing real easy.
Well, your auto insurance has saved me a lot on old Becky here.
That's great. And since our headquarters are local, we'll be here for old Becky for a long time.
Harold, your dog swallowed the remote again.
Who's that?
Older Becky.
Oh. Ugh.
Real service, real people. That's Farm Bureau Insurance.
It's halftime. You can see the score at the grade 8 on CHSAA TV. The LP Rangers with a comfortable 15-point lead. Large run towards the end of the second quarter there. Really, if you want to spell it out through the entire second quarter, they outscored their opponents, Pueblo Central, those Wildcats, 18-7 in that quarter. There'd be more points on the board, but Coach Russ McKinstry has these Rangers being very, very disciplined and patient in their half-court set. That was exemplified by the final possession at the end of the second quarter, where the Rangers held the ball for at least 90 seconds and eventually got the reward with a Justin Smith three-point field goal to get to this point at 34-18. Going through the scoring through halftime, leading the Rangers as expected, big Josh Scott, the 6'10 senior, has 11 points through one half of play. Brother Jordan Scott following suit with 10 points, 2 3-pointers from Jordan. Justin Smith, who I just mentioned, hit that three-pointer at the end of the second quarter, has 5. Ethan Riker with 2. 4 points from Tim Hillwig, and a total of 34. For Pueblo Central, Daniel Martinez had a nice little moment showcasing his outside shot, hit a pair of three-pointers. He leads the Central Wildcats with 6. B.J. Johnson done some nice work defensively, found some opportunities down low despite really a size disadvantage, but, working really hard. B.J. has 4. Zach Andrews with a couple of field goals. Kevin Trujillo with 4 points also. No non-starters on the board for Pueblo Central, a total of 18 points, and obviously with that 18, you can see on the board having a difficult time putting points on the board. So, hey, it's the top-ranked team in the state, Lewis Palmer. They're 24-1. It took a little while to get a rhythm and a pace. Started out herky-jerky. I mentioned a couple times you had the opening tip, had miscues, couldn't get that thing going, had to eventually lead to an inbounds play to get the game going. So it's been kind of a slow, methodical, herky-jerky grind. But you know what? It's looking good for LP. 34-18, you can see the score. We're going to walk you up to the second half. In Game 3 here at the Colorado School Mines, you are watching the Grade 8 on CHSAA TV.
He wasn't looking for a roommate, not even a four-legged one. But good things have a way of turning up. Wasn't long till they realized how much they relied on each other. There's power in a great relationship. That's why we take time to get to know each of our customers personally. Like Henry and Chance. Those relationships are the strength of our community bank. And that's the way banking should be.
See both squads coming back out on the floor. Marty Cesario, very proud to call the broadcast for you. Grade 8 on CHSAA TV. Colorado's boys basketball state championship tournament. 8 teams to go, and, well, honestly, we're down to 6 after Valor Christian has moved on. So has the Stallions from Sierra High School. We're in Game 3 here with Lewis Palmer with a nice, comfortable lead at 15 points right now as we begin the third quarter of play. A drive to the inside eventually leads to a turnover. Pueblo Central. And so the Rangers will get the basketball, an opportunity to put the first points on the board here in the second half. Pueblo Central had leads at 7-5 and then 9-6. LP jumped ahead, finished off the first quarter with a 5-point lead at 16-11, and then outscored Pueblo Central as you see Hatchett driving all the way through coast to coast. And I don't know if it was a hand clear, because certainly the defender was not in place on the run, but that will be a foul called against Pueblo Central. 2 quick fouls against the Wildcats to start out the second half. And here come back the Rangers the other way. Lead point guard Tyler Owens, the junior, from up top. Over to Josh Scott. He's way out high. Looking inside with a beautiful pass. Like to see those big boys distributing the basketball, even having the vision and the realization that that is perhaps an opportunity or an option to pass the basketball. It was a beautiful pass. You see the missed shot. Ball bounces out of bounds, and so LP turns it over. Approaching 1 minute in, and neither squad has put a point on the board. As you see the Wildcats work it around. Reach around backside on the drive by Kevin Trujillo. That's a foul. That'll be called against the Rangers as Jordan Scott goes to his chest. Felt the contact, but he created it with the reach on the Trujillo drive. Pueblo Central will keep the basketball. See if they can maybe get a set play to kick Daniel Martinez to the outside. He's got a pair of 3-point field goals. No, instead it'll eventually get back up to Hatchett. A turnover, a break with numbers in favor of LP. And picking up the garbage putback, that's Josh Scott with the 2-hand jam. You knew one of them was coming, a dunk. Josh Scott puts 2 on the board and an 18-point spread in favor of LP. Trying to get down low, Kevin Trujillo. Fouled on the shot. He'll get 2. Trujillo with 4 in the game. Hitting his 3rd free throw of the game. That's Trujillo. And 2 in a row. Nice job, Kevin Trujillo. Now with 6 individually. Pueblo Central eclipsed the 20-point mark. 16 down. Interior feed to Josh Scott. Can't put a hand near the basketball, and so he just really kind of a set shot in the paint. Gets the ball up and in. And let's be honest, not many teams throughout the course of, well, the last couple of seasons have had an answer for a guy with that kind of physical characteristics. And so far the Wildcats certainly don't have an answer for it, and it's hurting them. Josh Scott checking his point total. Now up to 17 in this contest, just 2 minutes into the third quarter. As you see back at the line, Kevin Trujillo. Been showing up there often and hitting most of them. That's his first miss of the game from the free throw line. The spread is 17. Lewis Palmer just to make sure they don't make mistakes and keep everybody healthy, and they'll be on their way for another Final Four berth. And it is remarkable once you bring up that this would be, if they get through, their 4th consecutive Final Four appearance in Class 4A. The winner of this contest will meet the Valor Christian Eagles in a very thrilling start to the Grade 8. 1-point victory over the Commanders from Kennedy. Nice set play over the top. Not going to touch that. Scott with another bucket. 19-point lead, but Valor Christian in that game one. 3-point attempt with 5 seconds left. Foul called. They hit 1 of 3 to get the slim lead. So you see the 3-point shot. B.J. Johnson again battling underneath. Nice work. Valor Christian escaped over the 5th seed Kennedy with a 53-52 victory. And then in game 2, Sierra Stallions, another exciting finish. Luke Stratman with a 4-point play to tie the game. An immediate answer by Sierra down low. Wesley Gordon, who's going to play basketball with Josh Scott, you see on the floor at Colorado. Wesley Gordon, just a simple post move down low for the win with about second and a half to go to get the Stallions back to the Final Four. See a few smiles on the faces of the Rangers out on the floor. That's certainly a nice place to be in, considering where we're at in the state tournament. Got a 19-point lead. Things are going good. It's kind of quiet around here, isn't it? Even the students from Pueblo Central that have made the drive up here to back up their guys in blue and white, starting to get a little bit quiet. They were making a lot of noise earlier. It was pretty impressive. Certainly when your squad's down 19 and you're starting to smell the reality getting shoved in your face, kind of sobering. Hatchett probes to the interior, eventually out to Trujillo. Try to work Jordan Scott on the run. Jordan with the block. And LP brings it up. That's Jordan Scott with the basketball right now. He'll stop and take that this time. Hangs back. There's a shot from the outside. Jordan Scott, no whistle, even though he was pulled to the outside. Eventually does draw that whistle. Someone had his arm and yanked him like a puppet. But no whistle. Got the rebound with one arm, the left. And on the putback attempt, the whistle was blown, so he'll shoot 2. Jordan Scott, averaging 13 for the year, 5 rebounds. Certainly a nice compliment to his big brother, and Jordan's going to have another year after this to really take over the program and be the leader next year. So he hits both. Now we've got a 21-point spread. Trujillo trying to work off the dribble. Strong drive, a little off balance, doesn't go, and referees swallowing their whistles now. And that's appropriate, and there's a huge block for Tim Hellwig. Left hand, I thought he was going to fall on his back, but maybe that's just his way of swatting the basketball. That had to feel good, huh, Tim? Nice block for Tim Hillwig. He's got 4 points in the game, and certainly a highlight facial right there. Wildcats keep the basketball, though, and Hatchett drives down there. A little out of control. Can't get it up towards the rim, and here comes LP once again. Jordan, baseline, looking for the reverse. Gets it. Acrobatic, beautiful. Score the 2. That's a bucket. Here comes Jordan once again. So LP has outscored Pueblo Central 10-3 in this quarter after taking a 16-point lead into the halftime intermission break. As we have some pause for substitutions. Jordan Scott, inbounds play set up to where he can take that 3-point shot. Not enough legs behind it, so it hits the front of the rim, no good. B.J. Johnson going to try to work off the dribble. Kicks out to Zach Andrews. Baseline shot. He's got a wide open shot there, and he hits it. Zach Andrews with his second field goal of the contest. Josh Scott. Easy pickings, right? Inside, nice setup. Gets another bucket. Pueblo Central working it around here, looking for those open shots. They found Zach Andrews a few times. Is that a three-point shot? Yes, it is. Kevin Trujillo, who is the leading scorer, having a very nice game for himself here in the grade 8. With a three-pointer. He's hit 5 free throws along with that 3 and then another field goal. He's got 11 points to lead his guys in blue and white from Pueblo Central High School. Baseline shot no good. Hellwig, he's got some hops to him. Trying to get that loose basketball off the rebound, the long rebound, and popped out of bounds. And now Tim will take a sit along with Jordan Scott. This is the moment you were kind of expecting. We're to see some different guys coming off the bench for LP, give them an opportunity to get out on the floor considering where we're at. Only third quarter. Protocol would dictate once we get to the fourth. Might even see more of those unfamiliar faces if you're not from the LP community. So Trujillo up top against Justin Smith. Finds Zach Andrews, who gets it up. But it's too strong, goes off the front of the rim. Josh Scott can't handle the rebound, so Pueblo Central will keep the basketball. Ethan Riker checking back in for LP. They try to get Trujillo on the inbounds play, streaking past Jordan Scott, but good defense on the part of Jordan Scott. And then up top, good defense by Tyler Owens. Anticipating that pass up top to Hatcher. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll still be Pueblo Central. There's an opportunity for Zach Andrews. Too strong on the dribble along the baseline. Goes up too high and eventually out of bounds. That'll be a turnover. 90 seconds to play here in the third quarter. LP with a comfy 20-point spread. Whistle blown. The foul, away from the basketball. It had nothing to do with Jordan Scott there and Darren Hatchett. So Pueblo Central will get that basketball once again. So Trujillo has 11 points for Pueblo Central. He's their leading scorer at 20 points a game. B.J. Johnson has 4. He's second in scoring productivity at 14 a game, so he's really underneath virtually everybody. It's kind of be underneath. It's a low-scoring contest, and then you have the fact that things aren't going well against the top-ranked squad in the state. Andrews, who's gotten a lot of nice looks, and he's worked hard to get those looks, primarily from baseline positions at about 15 feet. Only been able to sink a couple of those shots. 4 points individually tonight, and they'll have an opportunity here to stroke a few in from the free throw line. Gets the one, the second coming. Josh Scott stepping back in. And Zach Andrews hits his second. A minute to play here in the third quarter. Drive by Jordan Scott. A little too strong, but his brother picks it up, and he gets the rebound. It's the soft touch. It goes to the back of the rim. You think that maybe that'd carry him off to the near side, but no. It's a nice soft touch with the reverse roll and falls through. Certainly a gifted guy to watch. So Josh hits that, the lead 20 again. Here comes Trujillo, blocked by Scott with the left hand, but the call's for a teammate underneath there. It's actually a call against Pueblo Central on a clear-out attempt. One of the Wildcats trying to get in position for an offensive rebound, using a little bit too much behind muscle, and whistled. Perhaps it was a pull. Regardless, turnover, infraction, another whistle blown. That foul will go against the Wildcats, and now we're in a bonus situation. Team foul 7 on each side. We'll be shooting. I mean, we're not even done with the third quarter. We'll be shooting the rest of the way. So that will lengthen this contest, as I imply the reality of what we probably think is going to be a Lewis Palmer victory. Final possession, perhaps, of this quarter. Pueblo Central working it around. Up top, B.J. Johnson getting nifty. Ball fake to Josh Scott. Josh bid on it just a little bit, but B.J. had in mind to keep working the basketball around. Martinez taking contact but staying on his feet. Hatchet off balance against Josh Scott in desperation. That's not going to happen, and thus the block. So Josh Scott packs the basketball to the floor, and we finish off the third quarter with a 20-point spread, and it's the LP Rangers who are on top. Score 48-28. That's the end of the third quarter. The fourth coming up here on the Grade 8 on CHSAA TV.
I'm ready to switch over to Farm Bureau Auto Insurance.
Great.
Wait, my old insurance agent is offering me a safe driver discount if I stay.
We got you down for that.
And a multi-line discount.
That too. You know, some insurance companies don't give you your discounts until you try to switch, whereas we give you all the discounts you qualify for automatically.
Awesome. Done.
Hey, hi.
Your old agent?
Yeah.
Awkward.
Real service, real people. That's Farm Bureau Insurance.
The Grade 8 on CHSAA TV is brought to you in part by the Colorado Preps Network. You can get the quickest results and updated tournament brackets at coloradopreps.com. Join them for the Built Ford Tough Scoreboard Show, recapping all the action Thursday, Friday, Saturday from 9 to 10 on the Colorado Preps Radio Network. Proudly supporting the Grade 8 on CHSAA TV. We got a 20-point spread. Lewis Palmer Rangers clearly in comfortable control. Jordan Scott having himself a nice ball game. That's his 12th point of the game on the nice drive. Puts it in. LP gets over the 50 mark. Most starters still on the floor. Martinez, I'll mention a strong little moment there in the back end of the first quarter. Well, there's two things. Martinez had a strong moment where he hit a couple of threes. Defense has come up on him to deny him those looks, those easy looks from the outside. And then Zach Andrews, you saw in his position that he's been, getting a couple of nice looks. Well, all of a sudden, Hellwig is picked up on. They left Martinez alone, and that's what happens. Right on cue. Nice job, Daniel. So Daniel Martinez, third three of the game, found a way to get to the outside when things were in open space. Jacked is another big one from the arc, gets his 9th point. And there's a whistle blown. So Daniel Martinez has done some nice things. Zach Andrews. The hard part for Zach Andrews that he gets points for is, especially in the first half, he was the one assigned to bang away with Josh Scott. On the roster, Zach Andrews listed at 6'1". They're calling him 6'2" on the roster. Okay, we'll go with that. But we know Josh Scott is probably right there at the 6'10" he's listed at. So points for effort for Zach Andrews, battling away with Josh Scott. Scott hits 2 at the line. Advantage back over 20 for LP as they work the ball around. Oh, nice job underneath, and there's another one of those moments. Pueblo Central does a real nice job working motion, and then they get guys, regardless of their size, open underneath. They open the game with a couple of great opportunities for B.J. Johnson, who's another just 6-footer flat out. That time, Zach Andrews alone with a nice feed from way up top. Just can't get the ball to go down. From way up top, Ethan Hollenbach with his first points on the board. A 3 from the outside. And that'll sting. You got a nice possession on the other end for Pueblo Central. Can't convert, and then back the other way. LP finds a wide open man, no one within 10 feet of him, and he drains it from deep. There's Zach Andrews. That's his money spot. Just can't cash in. Had those opportunities, just not happening, as are a lot of things not occurring for Pueblo Central this evening. They've battled, though. Again, Zach, hey, you get points from me for dealing with the guy standing right to what would be your left on the screen, Josh Scott. Working hard, putting out. You deserve a pizza. So Jordan Scott takes a seat. We are at that moment where Coach McKinstry is inserting a little bit of depth from his bench. Dylan Tucker has checked in, 1-5, who's standing right behind Tyler Owens there on the left side of your screen. Now he fades out to the left. And we expect there'll be plenty more of those substitutions coming up here as we finish off this contest. Tyler Owens gets his first, and remarkably, he's done a nice job running the point. But that's his first point of the game. And he hits both. And me, you know, when I look at Tyler Owens, he may have the coolest socks on LP's team because he's got the horizontal stripes. Down low, I was just talking about B.J. Johnson finding some things. Underneath, he gets 2. Back the other end, there's Josh Scott. So approaching 4.5 to play in this game. As Josh Scott picks up the loose ball, Zach Andrews, who I've been complimenting for his efforts, the way he fell there, probably is running in the red in his fuel tank for all the effort he's put out in this contest. Also called for the foul, so he hits the floor. You drop to the deck and then draw a whistle. That just hurts. Come on, ref. Give a kid a break. Or maybe you're the one who's got to buy the pizza for Zach. So Josh Scott gets his squad up over the 60-point plateau. Scored 11 in the first. He's got 17 here in this second half, so 28 points for Josh Scott. Make that 29 after the second make. That's not a bad effort. Kevin Trujillo, leading scorer for his Pueblo Central team. Doing so in this contest, he's got 14 points in the game, just 3 short of his scoring average for the season. And we got a timeout on the floor here. Which gives me an opportunity to remind you that the Grade 8 on CHSAA TV is brought to you in part by Adams State College. K-12 educators can meet licensing requirements and earn advanced degrees through Adams State distance learning. Hundreds of professional development courses are offered on-site and at a distance. If you want more information, go to adams.edu. Website adams.edu. You're looking at the score, the outcome, pretty much a reality for us. I am restraining from updating my brackets because that's just uncool protocol right there. I got to wait. That's cool. We can do that. But we know this, that we are looking ahead to Game 4, and that will be right here on CHSAA TV with Play on Sports. Game 4 will be between the Broomfield Eagles and Golden Demons. In describing the atmosphere, I am starting to get pushed up against my table because what we expect for sure is going to happen. Broomfield don't have to come far, make that quick drive right to the west. And Golden, well, we're on their home turf. Golden's kind of an upstart squad, a 6-seed Broomfield, who, by the way, is the only squad to beat the Lewis Palmer Rangers this season. Those two squads are going to hook up, and I think all the folks are going to jack up the atmosphere. It is going to be loud. They will bringeth the noise. It will be an excellent way to finish off this great, thrilling evening. And if you want to check me on the thrilling part, yeah, we know this score, but boy, we started out with some solid games in Game 1 and Game 2. Valor Christian, 1-point win over Kennedy. A foul on a 3-point shot with 5 seconds left. They make one of 3, and then a desperation attempt doesn't go through. Kennedy loses. They miss that final shot. They lose by 1, so Valor is through. And then in Game 2, to follow it up, the Sierra Stallions, the Davelin Jaguars tied it up with a Luke Stratman 4-point play, and then the immediate counter by Wesley Gordon. They just go to the big man down low, and with 2 seconds left, just makes his pivot move, puts it in with 2 seconds. A hoist from way deep, no good for Davelin. Sierra wins 65-63. That's how we started things this evening on the campus of the Colorado School of Mines at the Grade 8. Right now, Lewis Palmer injecting some balance by giving, this type of contest where they're clearly in control. But again, we know it's going to get nutty as we get into Game 4 a little bit later. Regardless of what happens on the floor, the atmosphere is going to be electric. Both communities back up their basketball programs quite well. And we got some great teams that are going to be out on the floor. Hope you'll join us for that. That will be here on CHSAA.tv. Trujillo's going to get a chance to put a few more points on the board. Certainly a nice effort, workmanlike effort on the part of Trujillo, leading scorer. He's a senior, so this will be his final game of his high school career as he misses the first. Other seniors for Pueblo Central. From the starting unit, B.J. Johnson. This is his swan song effort. Darian Hatchett. Daniel Martinez. Returning, which is promising, is Zach Andrews, who I've been talking about so much with his efforts. Working around, Ethan Hollenbeck, a senior, gets another basket. And for as many times as Darian Hatchett has probed the interior, this time he does put it up and he gets himself a couple of points, which are actually his first 2 points of the contest. We're at 2.5 to play. Haven't seen as much substitutions as I expected. But there haven't been a lot of opportunities, not a lot of stoppage in play either. As you see, Hollenbeck get another 2. He's got 7 for the game. Trujillo from the outside, he jacks one from 3, right in front of his fellow students. So Trujillo with a nice effort. Now we're just going up and down the floor to finish things off. That'll be a foul called on the ball fake, actually called for the travel. Ball fake, feet move, whistle on you. Dylan Tucker, the junior's going to step back out there, along with Chase Stone, who's a sophomore, and now they're coming. Trujillo behind the back, working his man, leaning in, caught in trouble, tried to bounce pass from in the air. That's no good. See if LP can get some of these peripheral players points on the board, get in the scoring column. Scott Hawkins just had the basketball, and there's an over and back violation. So the only starter out there on the floor right now for the Rangers would be Ethan Hollenbeck, and he's about to be pulled off the hardwood. Allow some other youngsters to get out there. And this will be the time as Hollenbeck gets that rebound and draws the foul. Yeah, there's Ethan. He'll be streaking across. There he is. So Max Ward steps in, a junior. Joe Dell, who's also a junior. Hollenbeck finished with those 7 points. Jordan Scott hasn't been out there for quite a while. He has 12, and obviously the big numbers are from Josh Scott, 29 in this contest. Trujillo with another 3, so he's got 19 in the game. And that'll look good in his final basketball game for Pueblo Central High School. All the way down low. Opportunity for Scott Hawkins, who gets himself a 2. And these guys battle it out. If you're interested in finals from Classification 5A, we know this from the Denver Coliseum, which we're also presenting on CHSAA TV. All the way already through, the Arapahoe Warriors with a slim 2-point victory over Thunder Ridge, 55-53 in Game 1 over at the Coliseum. And then in Game 2, Mountain Vista had a 1-point halftime lead on the Highlands Ranch Falcons, but eventually Coach Bob Caton's squad overcame that deficit and handled their fellow Continental Conference rivals. 66-65, the final score for Highlands Ranch. And I just received a final in Game 3 as we finish up our Game 3 here in Class 4A. A final from the Coliseum just in. The Rangeview Raiders have pushed on. They beat Jerry Creek 47-46. So congratulations to Coach Sean Palmer and those Raiders, which is funny how that part of the bracket worked out. Pooter upset Regis, the 3-time defending champions. Then Rangeview handled Pooter, and now the Raiders have moved on. A young squad that you might expect that, maybe next year's the time with guys like Jeremiah Page. You got Gabe Solaren, the senior leader, but no, Rangeview, it's on now, man. They're in the Final Four, so Rangeview is through along with Highlands Ranch and Arapahoe in 5A. Valor, Sierra already through in Class 4A earlier this evening, and obviously LP is about to move on with just a few ticks left as we see an outside shot. Certainly a nice season for Pueblo Central. Hand claps and fist pounds for those guys, sincerely. They finish off the season overall record of 18-8. They get to the grade 8, which certainly is a remarkable accomplishment. Nice job coming out, those champs from the South Central League, but not enough tonight for sure. As you can tell by the score, 29 points from Josh Scott. Too much to handle the LP Rangers. Love that discipline from Coach McKinstry. The 4th consecutive Final Four appearance for those guys in orange and white. Lewis Palmer Rangers emerged victorious 72-46. Thanks for joining us. Coming up next, the finale. It's gonna be wild. Broomfield, Golden. That's next. The grade 8 here on CHSAA TV.